Let me start by saying something they didn't say loud enough in them teacher prep programs. You gonna fail. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to free you. You gonna plan a lesson that look beautiful on paper. Learning targets aligned, slides clean, activity ready, exit ticket printed. You walk in feeling like, yeah, I got one today. Then 7 minutes in, that whole lesson on life support. You gonna give directions 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and still have a student raise their hand and say, wait, what we doing? You gonna try to build a relationship and misread the moment. You gonna have days where you walk to your car, sit behind your steering wheel, stare straight ahead, and ask yourself, am I even built for this? And I need you to hear me clearly. This is not the end of your teaching journey. That is the beginning of it. Because failure is not a verdict. Failure is data. It is not proof that you don't belong. It is proof that you are learning this work for real. See, in college, everything was clean. You studied theories. You read case studies. You wrote reflections. You practiced in controlled environments where the students were imaginary, the behavior was hypothetical, and somehow the lesson always had time for closure. But a real classroom ain't clean. A real classroom got interruptions. A real classroom got moods. A real classroom got students who came in hungry, tired, mad, distracted, or carrying stuff no child should have to carry. So the real transition from theory to practice happens when your plan meets real people. And sometimes real people do not care nothing about your plan. That's where teaching starts. Failure becomes the bridge between what you thought teaching was and what teaching actually is. It teaches you that classroom management ain't just a script, it's presence. It teaches you that engagement ain't just flashy slides, it's connection. It teaches you that pacing ain't just getting through the lesson, it's reading the room. It teaches you that a quiet class is not always learning, and a loud class is not always out of control. You don't learn that from a textbook. You learn that when something falls apart and you have to stand there, breathe, adjust, and keep going. That's the work. Failure forces reflection. Reflection creates adjustment. Adjustment builds skills. And skills over time becomes confidence. You don't become a strong teacher because everything worked the first time. You become a strong teacher because when it didn't work, you didn't run from it. You studied it. You asked, where did I lose them? What did I assume they understood? What system was missing? What do I need to tighten up before next period? That ain't weakness. That's craftsmanship. Because teaching is not a performance. Teaching is a practice. And practice means you're gonna miss some shots before you find your rhythm. Now, let me make this personal. When I was student teaching, some folks expected me to be the black kid whisperer. You know how that go. They saw me, saw the black students, and just assumed, oh, he got them. But let me tell the truth. At first, my black students did not want nothing to do with me. because to them, I was just another teacher trying to force them to comply. I thought representation alone was gonna carry me, but representation without relationship, that ain't enough. I had to learn that just because I look like them did not mean they automatically trusted me. I had to earn that. I had to learn that relationships come first. I had to learn the value of buy-in over compliance, because compliance might get students to sit down, but buy-in gets a student to lean in. Compliance might get quiet. Buy-in gets effort. Compliance can control the room for a moment, but buy-in can change the culture. That was one of my first real lessons from failure. I still get lessons from failure till this day. But what changed is this. I stopped beating myself up every time I failed. I stopped treating every mistake like evidence that I was not enough. I started seeing failure as real-time development, because failure doesn't just teach you what works. Failure also teaches you who you are. See, a lot of new teachers start off trying to be somebody else. You try to teach like your favorite professor. You try to copy the veteran teacher down the hall. You try to be super strict because somebody told you, don't smile till Christmas. Then you try to be extra chill because you want the kids to like you. And after a while, all that performing wears you out, because you can't build a classroom on somebody else's personality. Failure will strip away the act. It asks, who are you when the lesson falls apart? Who are you when a student challenges you? Who are you when the room gets loud and your confidence gets quiet? That's where your teacher identity gets built. Not on the easy days. It gets built in the moments where you have to choose between reacting and responding. It gets built when you apologize to a student because you didn't handle something the way you should have. It gets built when you realize structure is not being mean, it's being clear. It gets built when you realize love without boundaries will wear you out, and boundaries without love will shut students down. That's balance. And you don't learn that balance without bumping into some mistakes. Every great teacher got a mental file cabinet full of lessons that bombed, emails they wish they wrote differently, parent conversations that got awkward, behavior moments they wish they could redo, and days they drove home silent. The difference is this. They didn't let failure become their identity. They let it become instruction. So when you fail, don't ask, am I bad at this? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Don't ask, should I quit? Ask, what adjustment does this moment require? Don't ask, why am I struggling? Ask, what skill is this struggle building in me? Because you are not behind because you're struggling. You are becoming. And becoming is uncomfortable. Becoming will humble you. Becoming will stretch you. Becoming will make you rethink what you thought you knew. But becoming is also where the power is. One day, that thing that used to shake you won't shake you anymore. One day, that class that used to overwhelm you become the class that taught you the most. One day, you'll watch a new teacher panic over something you survived, and you'll be able to say, breathe. You got this. Let's adjust. That's growth. So let me leave you with this. Failure is not proof that you shouldn't be here. Failure is proof that you are in the arena. It means you are trying. It means you are stretching. It means you care enough to feel when things don't go right. And in teaching, the only real failure is refusing to grow. Failure is the first lesson. This motivational video is for Black educators, new teachers, and anybody trying to survive in the classroom without losing yourself in the process. We talking real lessons, real failures, classroom culture, student relationships, and how mistakes can build you into the teacher you're becoming. Have you ever sat in your car after school wondering, am I even built for this? This one is for you. Comment below. What was one lesson failure taught you as an educator? And don't forget to hit the like, turn on the notifications, subscribe for more real talk, comedy, motivation, classroom management, and culturally bold educator content. Check out the Ben Marketplace for teacher lifestyle streetwear made for educators who keep it real. Visit the Ben blog for professional development resources, classroom management gems, and tools for new teachers trying to grow without losing their authenticity. Against all odds, we still teaching, we still real. Peace.